Hello gorgeous fashion lovers. I wanted to do another show and tell. I've found some treasure, yes I have, but I also wanted to talk briefly about finding secondhand vintage pieces and finding stuff online. So I've been shopping on eBay and have made some incredible finds over the years, as I'm sure you have, and usually it's a great spot to find stuff. The great thing about eBay is that it has lots of measures in place to secure your purchases. And I also love to use PayPal with eBay and other sites, just so I know that I'm protected if something goes wrong. And of course it rarely does, but we do need to be careful. I've also shopped on Gumtree. Most recently I found some extreme treasures. That's a little trickier because there are not a lot of measures in place for authenticity, and often they actually encourage you to only shop locally where you can go and view the item and pick it up in person. I have had success with buying interstate and it's been not a problem, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who have problems, so do be careful with Gumtree and do suss out the seller before you buy from them. And I found that often people just want to get rid of stuff, so Gumtree isn't too bad and people are quite honest from what I have found so far, but do be careful. The other option, of course, is to shop at your local op shop emporium, which I do quite regularly, and I love them because even though you pay a bit more, they are curated and you don't waste your time searching and you still get an absolute bargain. But I was going to say, do pop into your local Vinnies and Salvos and other charity shops, no matter where you are in the world, and have a little peek every now and then and drop in at different times. So you might want to drop in on a Tuesday morning first thing, or you might want to wait till late in a Sunday afternoon because you don't know when they're going to get their drop. And recently I did a video you might have seen about Material Pleasures, and I dropped in and they just had incredible, like Zimmermann, and there was a Yves Saint Laurent there. It didn't suit me, unfortunately. Seriously, there are some real finds, some incredible, like a Bally bag, leather bag. Again, it wasn't my style, but just for, I think it was $80, it was incredible. So you do need to pop in regularly and just have a really sharp eye. The other thing too is a lot of the Salvo stores, I don't know about Vinnies because I don't have one close to me, but they've got this new thing where they have this little designer section and they have someone curating that section. So you can go in and not have to trawl through literally an acre of clothing looking for one special find. And my local Salvos in Fyshwick do have a section that's specifically designer. The manager there organises it. She curates the pieces herself, so I don't have to go in and spend 4 hours searching. And gosh, there are some finds. I have several that I found this morning that I'm about to show you. So check in with your local Salvos and see if they do that kind of thing, because you're going to find your treasure in that way. And if they don't have that section and you have the time on your hands, the energy and the willingness to give a bit of your time to charity, then certainly why don't you consider doing a bit of curating a few hours a week and finding some treasure and bringing much more money into the Salvos. I actually love going in and shopping from that area because I know that it's going to be more expensive, they're going to earn a lot more, and it's a great way for me to give my charity dollars to such a great organisation. Actually, the fellow there told me that they would make probably more just from that section alone than their entire, almost literally an acre of other clothing in the store. So that just gives you an idea of where your dollar is going and how vital that is. So how about I show you what I found this morning. This incredible George Gross coat. Now, George Gross has been, gosh, George and Harry Hu, they had a label for quite some time. They were huge in the 80s, and beautiful craftsmanship, stunning items, classic items, but also some quirk. And I believe George, maybe the last 35 years, has operated his own label, and his work is just beautiful. This is a wool coat. It's herringbone, but I don't know if you can see if the camera's picking up. It has jacquard print through it. Can you see there? I'll find a better here. You can see a beautiful floral jacquard print, double-breasted, beautiful lining, stunning condition, not a single peel on it. Look at the end of the cuffs, gorgeous back here, lovely slip pocket, Stunning tweed, just absolutely stunning. I paid $35 for this. It's just incredible. I bought it because, well, not only because of the price, it's just stunning. Whenever I buy vintage, I will not buy the same thing. So if I had a long tweed dark grey coat, I would not have bought this. I would have just rang a friend and said, quick run, you've got to have this if you don't have one. I think it's pointless having the same thing. So I do buy a lot vintage, but I just want to get something that I will wear, and I don't want the same thing, you know? So that's my rule. There was actually an Anthea Crawford taffeta, incredible taffeta jacket, like a long line jacket that you could belt in, and it was really fulsome, very 80s. It was $35 or $45. You know, so it wasn't Anthea Crawford, it was, oh gosh, I'm having a blank. I think it was Bettina Liano for someone else. I'll put it in the notes if on the screen if I remember. Anyway, I left that there because I have something similar in a black, and I just thought I won't get the wear out of it, even though I was so tempted because it was so cheap. So that's the George Gross. It is exquisite. I'm so delighted to have found that. Now, I'm a big knit lover. This is a Brewster's Knitwear. Now, I had heard of them but wasn't sure of their history, so I looked them up. They've been in operation since 1987, so very well established. They are fine knitwear specialists, and they are, I think there's about 5 or 6 boutiques in Victoria and a couple in New South Wales. This is a wool alpaca blend. It's as soft as duck down. It has this beautiful self stripe, can you see? So you have a pearl and a knit stitch going one way and the other. Exquisite embroidery here on the top and on one side and at the end of both sleeves. It's a soft creamy colour, just a simple back, and I love a zip with a knit. It is very retro and I adore it. I tried it on, it's stunning on. It will make a great layering piece because it's quite thin. Like I said, it's wool and alpaca or mohair, I think, from memory, and it was $35. It does have a tiny bit, can you see here, of green dye right at the bottom there. I'm thinking maybe because this is a bronze zip that had some effect. It got wet or something, but you cannot see it. Even when it's open, you can't see it. So do look at your pieces really closely, examine them, and if you're still willing to pay $35 for something so beautiful, then go for it. It still has tags attached, you know, still has tags on, and it was $179. So yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled with that. I love it to bits. This next piece, I stood and stared at it for a long while because I couldn't believe I was seeing it. It was like a mirage. It's a Bardot, which is a chain store that's quite expensive. They do beautiful pieces. They have gorgeous fabrics. There is no label on this because it's reversible, I believe. I'll show you in a minute. It is a thick satin. I don't think it's silk, but it is this beautiful thick satin in a really pale blush pink, black, and then it is embroidered with these exquisite tigers here and a dragon. It has these slit pockets that are lined with trim. It's a long line bomber. Look at this. It's really beautiful quality. Check out the back. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Check out, look at this embroidery. It's unbelievably beautiful. I adore the colour. And then as you can see, if I removed that Bardot label and reversed the jacket, it is totally, totally wearable. Look, it's got French seams. So there is no, there's no seam that's stopping you from wearing it inside out. Isn't that just incredible? And do you want to know how much this incredible piece was? I'd love to know how old it is. I'd love to know if it's retro. It's in immaculate condition, so I'm presuming it's not so old. Does not smell. It was $18. It's insane. I absolutely love this. It is so chic. It's a little bit boho, a little bit retro, and I'm a big Japan lover, so I'm loving that Japan is written on the back. And on that smell thing, it's actually an accumulation of toxins in the air and pollutants, and most of it is car exhaust. Would you believe it? You'd think that it would be mold or something, but it's not. It's just car exhaust. I did some research on this because it fascinates me why clothing gets that smell. and it is just environmental toxins that does that to clothing. So you know, if you go into the salvos and find something that has no smell at all, it's a fresh drop. And that's why you need to drop in regularly and on unusual days and times so that you can find these treasures. Absolute bargain. This last piece, you're going to totally hate me. You really are. This is a Table 8, which is one of our beautiful chain store designers, exquisite clothing, not cheap. This has tags still on and it was $129. It's the most luxurious silk. The drop and the shape is just divine. It has this beautiful layering at the front, and you can see here it actually has a little preppy bow. See, a little black silk bow, and it's on press studs, so you can actually see, look here, you can actually remove it if you just want to have it open without that preppy sort of look. Oh my goodness, it is absolutely exquisite. It's like a champagne cream. It has a luminosity. It's divine. And for the grand sum of $12. So this is what you can find when you drop in on unexpected days and just keep dropping back, because this kind of thing, we don't want it in landfill. We want to recycle. I love recycled fashion. And one thing that I didn't get at the salvos that I did want to show you was a recent eBay purchase. So this is a silk dress by Willow. It's not Kit X. It is before she actually sold, before Kit sold her business. So it's obviously vintage Willow. It's silk, it's tribal, it has the most exquisite pattern and colour. It's really on trend. It's very sheer, but it actually works really well with a slip. The sleeves are incredible. Can you see here? They've sort of got a little tab at the top, and then the sleeve drapes open like this. Lovely deep V. It has draping on the belly, which is not normally something I do because my belly is usually quite flat. Depends how much chocolate I've been eating. But it actually is very flattering on. I didn't think it would look good. It was very cheap. I can't even remember what I paid, maybe $40. And so I was a little worried, but I will style it up later and show you, but it is actually really exquisite on. So it's just one of those finds you can get on eBay. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I also put in a bid on a Sass & Bide Runaways dress. It retails for like $6.50, $6.90, something like that. It's fully sequined balloon sleeve wrap dress, unbelievable ombre, stunning. And I saw it, I think like at 11 o'clock at night the other night, and I thought, oh golly, that's got a day left and it's got no bids. What the hell, I think the lowest bid was 100. So I put 100 in and thought I don't want to pay more than that. I love the dress, but I'm okay to let things go. So I put the 100 in and I woke up the next morning and I won it. So cannot wait to show you. I will style it up and show you. But again, these are the treasures. That's so unusual to win something so incredible in my size. For $100 is unheard of, but that's what happens on eBay sometimes. So it really is worth putting in a minimum bid and letting it ride, and it's meant to be yours. It's meant to be yours, you know. So I'll show you later. All right, that's my little show and tell on my latest Salvos shop up, and I hope you can get to a charity store soon and find some absolute treasure. Mwah!